Welcome back to Sports Gist right here on Kaftan TV Studios. Yes, last night Manchester United were ruthless against Chelsea. They needed just a point to make it to next season's Champions League, and they didn't just get a point. They got all 3 points, and they're going to be ending the season third. I have a very happy Manchester United fan with me. He's a sports vlogger. He's none other than Akomoye Cyprian. Cyprian, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Should I say glory, glory, Man United?
Glory, glory, Man United. Glory, glory,
You seem really excited, but hold that thought. I don't know if he's happy, but I'm sure he's ready to give it to you guys hot. He's none other than our very own Francis. Good afternoon, Francis. Welcome to Sports Gist.
Yes, it's good to be here again.
It's good to have you here. Always looking very dapper. Yes. Thank you. All right. So last night, Manchester United defeated Chelsea. Truth is, when I was watching the game, I was hoping that maybe we get a point from that game, or go all out and defeat Man United. Owing to the fact that this is the 11th time we played Man United, and Man United seems to have the upper hand over Chelsea. I don't know. For me, I expected something better from Chelsea. But what did you expect last night?
To be honest with you, Chelsea played above my expectation.
Okay.
Because they dominated possession. At one point during the match, it was 68-32. That's in favor of Chelsea. So I think a team like that, they just need some finishing touches to be made.
Okay.
Because they are playing well when it comes to possession. Based on that match yesterday, or based on the yesterday's match, they played with the dominated possession, and they created some early chances, very good chances that, if converted, would have turned the table around in that match yesterday. But anyway, my team did the needful.
All right, our last Okay, now Francis, do you think the likes of Enzo, Modric, and even João Felix will, sit back, pick themselves up and ask themselves, did we make the right decision going to Chelsea?
A particular player I'm feeling very, very bad for in Chelsea right now is Enzo Fernandez.
Okay.
I think whenever I see him, I always see a man living in regrets.
Limbo.
Wow.
Yeah.
At the moment.
You agree with him?
Yes, I do.
I see a man living in regrets, like, I hope I didn't just make the mistake of my life.
Okay.
Yeah, the money was big. He has a big paycheck now, but at what cost on his career? He's just 22 years old. You get. He's not even stepping into his prime yet.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
You get. He's not even stepping into his prime yet. And looking at Chelsea, for Chelsea to become that finished product where he can really thrive, we are looking at 2-3 years again.
Yeah.
We're looking at 2-3 years again, and I think his consolation now will be the imminent arrival of Mauricio Pochettino.
Okay.
Mauricio Pochettino, and I'm still quite skeptical about Mauricio Pochettino's arrival at Chelsea, because sometimes these coaches, apart from the fact that players are gifted, apart from the fact that players are performing at the highest level, sometimes we see coaches having personal preferences.
Yes, a system that
Having personal preferences.
Yes.
Now, we saw Pochettino play very high press during his time at Tottenham Hotspur, because that's the kind of
With the likes of Modric, Enzo,
for now.
see,
for now, the only player in Chelsea I see who's really trying hard to raise the bar is Enzo Fernandez, and that was the reason why. That's the reason why I said the only player I'm feeling very bad for right now is Enzo Fernandez. Imagine he left Benfica and he didn't even look like a player of Enzo Fernandez's talent left the team. Like his replacement slotted in perfectly, like nobody ever left.
Yes.
I mean, if you check what's happening in Brighton, they lose key players.
They lost key players, they lost their manager. You get, they lost their manager, and the team is still doing quite well.
Yeah, because they had the
but
good replacements.
The players that were lost, how are they faring?
Very bad.
Very
Very bad.
The players that has been lost.
Are you saying that move by Enzo Fernandez was wrong?
For now, and you know, for me, I've always had my, I don't know, but a lot of people see my views as always off-color views, but then I think a move of that magnitude, a move involving that amount of money, those kind of moves are not done during the winter transfer window. During the January transfer window. I can give you a lot of January transfers, big money January transfers, that has been a colossal failure. Fernando Torres, Felipe Coutinho is one of them. Recently,
Alexis
Sanchez is
Salah, when he came to Chelsea, I think it was January 2.
Salah moved in January 2. So quite a lot of the big money moves that happens in January, they are moves that are like 50-50. Most times clubs that are serious.
I think for the case of Chelsea, it was born out of the fact that Chelsea was desperate at the time. You know, we were going through a phase, we were really struggling, and there was money at our disposal.
Yes, there was money.
And Todd Boehly, being a money man, felt, you know what, why not let me spend this amount of money, bring in these players and see if our season would dramatically just turn around. But the case was different. Now, when we brought in Enzo, he came with so much hype. He had just won the World Cup, best young star, you know, and the price tag on him was big. And there are some players I want to believe that are game changers, and the likes of Enzo is that player. You get. We also got Mudryk, who I want to believe is a game changer. They should be able to change games when things are going so bad for Chelsea. There should be people who step up and say, you know what, we might be struggling, but we will do something extra. That is the whole point of spending such an amount of money.
That's it. What I can say there is, there are many things involved.
Okay.
Like, do they have the mental capacity to handle the pressure? That is another thing that you really have to look out for. Because somebody like Mudryk, to be honest with you, that guy looked lost yesterday in that match.
Yeah.
He looked very indecisive. Like he didn't, like, for 1 second I was not scared of him. Throughout that match.
I'm sure nobody's scared of it right now.
Just like you said, that there are some players that like game changers.
Yeah,
game changing
they should be.
players. Look, that era where a single player can be dragging the team.
The Maradona era?
Yeah, it's not the team.
More recently, Lionel Messi.
Okay.
That era is long gone.
Okay.
Now it's still very important to have players who can take the game by the horn and just we call it moments of brilliance.
Magic,
moments of brilliance. Like it just happens in a flash. Example, what we saw during the first leg of Real Madrid and Manchester City. Look at what KDB did. That's his goal. It's just a sheer moment of brilliance. It wasn't like the move was not something you would say has been rehearsed on the pitch or something they have trained or something they have practiced. Same can be said about Vinicius Junior's goal. In that first leg, because Vinicius moved from the middle, whereas before he moved from the side and drifts into the middle. Look at the second leg of that very encounter. The first goal that Bernardo Silva scored. The hero of that very goal is KDB, and KDB didn't even touch the ball. KDB did not even touch the ball. KDB kept on moving. Camavinga kept on chasing KDB, and in chasing KDB, he left his space. Bernardo Silva had enough time to pick his pace. So those are moments of brilliance. You can't have a player running the show for 90 minutes.
Okay, now speaking of moment of brilliance, now if you watch the game closely, I think Chelsea had a game plan. Now their game plan did not involve Casemiro's early goal. I'm sure they had a plan to, completely dominate that game, get a goal, and seal that.
You see, when we talk about ball possession,
how awful Chelsea was yesterday. In the first half, Chelsea dominated.
Okay, Chelsea dominated.
The only problem in that Chelsea team is that finishing touch.
Chelsea dominated.
Yes, we did.
Chelsea had most possession. Chelsea had the most possession. Like when you say a team has the most possession, you are invariably saying they played more passes, right?
Yeah,
how many of those passes were forward passes?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
no. You have to you have to tell ourselves the truth.
Yes.
How many of those passes were forward?
Okay,
when you go into a game, I think you have to go and plan against every scenario.
All right. Well, is it fair to say? It's fair to say it. There's no point.
You have to plan for. You have to plan for red cards.
Everything.
Okay, so let's just take it. It's fair to say that the season is already over for Chelsea. At this stage, we have nothing. Yes, we know that. But at this stage, there's nothing to fight for. There's nothing to play for. Just do whatever they have to do on Sunday against Newcastle United.
I think they should just let the league just end.
Let's just let the season just end. But I'm promising you guys, next season Chelsea will be back stronger. But another team or player rather that seemed to be gutted by last night's defeat is Liverpool and Salah. Salah came out lamenting. He believes that Liverpool at least should qualify for the Champions League, but they didn't.
I think what happened to Liverpool, all the gaps, it's just like opening the bottom of a basket. Okay, so when they picked form, that loophole that was created before was more like sucking all the effort. So everything, all the points they were gathering, they were just trying to balance all those holes that were coming. That was simply what affected them. They did well towards the tail end of the season. For the past 6 to 7 weeks, Liverpool.
If you look at Manchester City, Manchester City too, they were not consistent at some point.
Yes, that is why Arsenal left for so long.
So when it got to the business end of the season, when they really needed that consistency, it came, and the person they were chasing, the club they were chasing, lost focus.
Yes.
Now Liverpool. On Liverpool's part, they picked form at the right time of the season, the business end of the season. But their direct rivals, the team occupying the position they were chasing,
was also
had a little bit of consistency.
Okay.
And it takes me back to, I think, 2015-2016, when Leicester City won the league. Kudos to them for winning the league. But I'll keep saying it till I take my last breath. Leicester City did not win the league because they were completely better because they were the best team. Okay. Manchester City won the league because the teams who could have rivaled them were below par.
Simple.
That's it.
Yes, that particular season.
Well, there's a news emanating just this afternoon about Ivan Toney's ban and his betting saga. Now he bet 13 times against his own team. But now he has been diagnosed with a betting addiction. As if there's a disease like that.
No, addiction is addiction. People get addicted to crazy things.
Yes.
And there's a catch to it.
Okay.
The 13 matches he placed the bet on. Yeah. He didn't take part in the match, and he was not eligible
to play.
He was not eligible to play those matches. Like there was no way he would have had any direct or indirect influence.
I think that's on those. That saves him.
So that's the reason why his sentence has been reduced.
Yes. He would have been in serious trouble if he had taken part in all those games.
But I feel like these players are professional. They should know better.
Yes, you know the rules.
You know the rules. Why go against
the truth is,
you know the rule.
Ivan Toney is just the scapegoat here. If
They
will
dig deep.
go into the closet of most of these players. Football may be placed on hold for like a year or two.
All right, on hold. That is what it has to say about that. But before we go to let's talk a bit about our Flying Eagles. They will be taking on Brazil tomorrow. We are already in the round of 16, whichever way. But we'll just play, for the pride and for the fact that we are the giants of Africa.
No, as well as the fact that we're in the round of 16, they have to top the table for them to get
a lesser draw. Okay, that makes sense.
Brazil has a good goal ratio. More than the Flying Eagles.
Okay, so but they're just on 3 points.
Yes, but if they win their next match, which is against Nigeria, by 3-0, they will automatically top us. They will automatically top us. So it's not a time to relax.
So it's not just by winning.
Get the third place from.
It's not just about.
So what are your expectations for tomorrow's game, though?
I expect it to be a fair contest. But somehow I still expect the Golden Eaglets to get the job done.
All right, do you agree with him?
Okay, now the last time Nigeria played Brazil in the Under-20 World Cup, I think we lost 4-2.
Okay,
that was the only time of Gabriel Jesus and Success Isaac. So I think somehow, I just feel the Eagles are the Eagles are playing well. They are playing well, but somehow I feel that technicality somewhere they may
Brazil might just
they may get overwhelmed, and then Brazil may take advantage of that. That's
all right. We'll wait to see how that pans out. That's the much we can take on the show today. Thank you. It was an amazing time with you guys. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
And thank you so much to our amazing viewers. Let's do this again, same time, same station next week. Do have a wonderful weekend. I am Justin. Bye for now.